Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to shout out all the people who do support me on Patreon. So shout out to Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Billy Highvault, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As The Earth, Chow Young Cat, Dank, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Felix Hung, Fireball X, Godrockin, Jeranism, scroll down, Joshua, let's read his name off really closely, Balsimo, Joshua Balsimo, shout out to you my friend, Kirsten Smith, Life Is Short, Matt, Michael, Paige, Qatar Craig, Reinhardt, Rene, Sam Hine, Skeptic936, Texas Mike, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker, and Tom Herkins. Shout out to all of you. Now, I've started the show considerably earlier than I would have done normally, as I want to check that it all actually functions. So yesterday's show was a bit of a disaster. We didn't have any Discord server, but after a huge amount of faffing around yesterday, changing huge amounts of settings, I'm now hoping that everything will actually function perfectly. Now, I'm very lucky and privileged that we do actually have a guest, so Righteous Force is here. Once he gives me the nod, hopefully we'll start checking out that things actually work.
Hey,
hello.
Nathan.
Oh, I can't hear you. Let's just turn my preamplifier on, that might help. Bear with me just 1 second, Righteous Force. There we go. That might help if I could actually hear you.
Good morning, Nathan.
Morning. How are you?
You want me to go? I'm alright. You want me to go on Discord quick?
Oh yeah. That'd be great.
So, am I coming through?
Yes, you are coming through. Have you moved to Discord yet?
Wait, what's that?
Was that coming through on Discord?
Yeah, it was Discord, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
brilliant.
back here because I hear an echo there.
Well, everything's working perfectly then.
Okay.
Oh, I'm very pleased with that. It was worth the aggravation and hassle and stress.
Yeah, you were stressing out?
Yeah, because it seems calm and everything's running. Actually, what's happening is I'm fiddling around for an entire live show trying to get the bloody Discord server to work. It turned out there was just an update. Something had been updated on my system, and in so doing, it had wiped out an entire line on my desk, the line that Discord's on, and it wouldn't come back. So I had to reinstate a line on the desk that was shut down, and then assign that to everything, which takes a very long time. Not to mention that I didn't know what was wrong initially, so I had to figure that out, which is, again, a very time-consuming process. But eventually I figured it out, and now it's all working again, just on a slightly different setup. So there could still well be problems. I don't know. I haven't foreseen, but we'll see. Hopefully not.
Well, you gotta troubleshoot a little bit when you have a PC.
Yeah, the weird thing was I just left it overnight, so, you know, other than going into sleep mode, it didn't, as far as I was concerned, do anything. It was exactly the same as when I set it up, or when I left it from the previous show, so to lose a setting when it's not even restarted or anything is really weird. But there we go, it did. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay from here on in, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not much of a talker sometimes, eh?
All right, don't worry about it. I'm more than content to leave this as a show with a reasonable amount of dead air in it, purely because I started early to test. The fact that it's immediately worked is a bonus. I'm still going to go and make my cup of coffee, and there might be a bit of dead air in that particular section, but such is life. I'd rather that than there be no dead air and then a show like yesterday when we can't even speak to the people in Discord.
Yeah.
We can speak to them, they just can't reply.
Yeah. I checked in once and I was hearing like the ballers once like comment over top of you guys, and I'm like, oh wow. They got their own little echo chamber there.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sweet.
I don't know if I made my point, but yeah.
No, you made your point. What you're saying is when they couldn't be heard, they just chatted amongst themselves in the background of the show.
Yeah, like they don't understand or something like that, you know.
Oh, that sounds like a really excellent rebuttal. Shame we couldn't have heard that. They don't understand. Oh, wow. If only I'd have had the elaboration of that defence.
Yeah.
Extremely coherent. Pungent, even.
Well, we got Don in the chat. Does
Hey,
you like chatting? I got them a little bit fired up in Discord chat this morning.
Who, Dawn?
Don and
guys.
2 other ballers.
Hey, Dawn. Who was the others? Who were the others?
Truthifer and... Hold on, scrolling for his name. And Truthstein. Yeah.
They're all loving the truth tags in there at the minute.
Yeah, a couple of them are going there, but the name of truth. They're all inserting truth in their name.
I was just triggered by the idea that left to right curve and obstruction are different things. So you were saying they're contradictory points of view. That triggered me.
And that prevented you from giving me a proper counter argument?
Well, you shouldn't make that argument in the first place. You should know that it's not contradictory on a big sphere.
So asserting things go over a curve in front of us and not seeing it from left to right are not contradictory positions?
Yes, they're not. That's how big spheres work when you're a small human on them. You can test this with a ball in your house, or you can look up a model of a 3D sphere in a computer program.
Dawn, when you do it with a ball, what you see at the edge of your vision of the ball is the edge of the ball that you see. But in the case of us and what we see, that's not how it works. We're not seeing the edge of a sphere. The horizon's not the edge of a sphere.
Look, if you get a tiny little camera on a big ball in your shed or something,
yeah, the ball
photograph a long ways, you'll get a flat horizon, but you'll still see obstruction.
But Dawn, the edge of the ball in your scaled down example doesn't create a vanishing point at the edge of the ball. But we have a vanishing point at distance, and you're calling a vanishing point. And you're just talking through me. Why do you even attempt a conversation with us, Dawn? Because we don't get a chance to rebut you. You just talk through us.
So I had to disagree.
Me pointing out where this is nonsense, you don't want to hear it. You want to talk through me.
No, you're wrong about the vanishing point, so I had to speak up.
I'm wrong about the vanishing point? No, I'm not.
Yeah, vanishing points are everywhere.
We do have vanishing
points.
Created
by a sphere.
Okay, so you've interrupted me to say that
it's an infinite point in the middle of your vision.
Go on, Dawn, get it all out.
Vanishing point is not created by a sphere. That's where you're wrong.
I didn't suggest it was for 1 second. I said that the edge of the horizon isn't the leading edge of your sphere. And I gave you an example with your little ball that you've scaled down. Well, the edge of the ball that you see in your scaled down example isn't the vanishing point.
No, I know that. Because vanishing point isn't to do with the ball.
So it's called a false equivalence, Dawn. False equivalence, then.
Why are you talking about vanishing points? That's not to do with the ball.
Because that's what you've reified the horizon into. The edge of a sphere.
No. I'm simply saying, if you zoom in and you're close to a big sphere, you will see obstruction over in front of you, but you will see a flat left to right horizon. So it's not contradictory position. Complete
nonsense. If I get a beach ball and put a camera next to it, I'll see the edge of the ball curving. That's nonsense. But it means nothing when you're talking about the horizon. Dawn, I'm not getting a chance to respond to you. Every time I pipe up, you carry on talking through me. So
Because
this
when you
conversation
pipe up, you
between,
lie.
even when I'm telling you off for talking through me, you start talking through me, Dawn. So it's pointless having a conversation with you because you don't listen.
Well, maybe you could be more honest, and then we could have a conversation. I won't have to
Dawn,
interrupt.
the horizon is an arbitrary position. It's not the edge of a sphere. Now, you don't have to like that, you fundy. I'm not lying. You're just wrong. You're reifying the horizon into the edge of a sphere. Now, you might not understand what that means. You might not like what that means. But that is a fact. I'm not wrong. I'm not lying. You're just reifying an arbitrary position where the sky seems to meet the ground into the edge of a sphere and comparing it to a ball. Well, that's wrong. It's a false equivalence and a reification. And there he goes. Asshole.
It's not one.
I'm telling you how you're wrong, and all you're doing is talking through me.
You're
Dawn,
misrepresenting me.
Dawn, I haven't finished talking. Why are you talking through me,
Maybe
Dawn?
don't misrepresent me.
I'm not. Don't tell me what not
misrepresent
to do when I haven't finished doing it. Right? You're just being a prick.
Yeah, I will.
You're being a prick.
You're misrepresenting me.
I'm not
You're
misrepresenting
me.
you. I'm stating a
You
fact.
are. That's why I'm talking still.
All right. Prove the horizon, the arbitrary position where the sky seems to meet the ground, is the edge of a sphere. Prove that then.
That's not what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, that is what you're saying, you daft twat. You're just too stupid to know what you're even saying.
If I was saying that, I'd...
You are saying that. You're saying it bends. Whether or not it bends, what's it? The horizon! You moron!
Wow. Wow, you're angry.
Yeah, I'm angry because you're telling me what I'm not representing you as when you don't even understand what you're saying. It, and whether or not it bends, is the horizon. And that position is arbitrary. It's the arbitrary position where it seems the sky meets the ground. It's not the edge of a sphere. Now, the fact that you won't fucking listen to a word I say and interrupt me to tell me I'm misrepresenting you is a testimony to how fucking stupid you are. Now, shut your mouth and listen to how you're wrong and accept it or be a fundy.
That's not what I was saying, though.
Yeah, it was what you were saying. It bending is the horizon. Yeah?
No.
Yeah. So what is it then, and whether or not it bends? Yes, stunned silence, you stupid little twat. Don't talk through me when I'm taking a shit on your religion. I'm not misrepresenting you. I'm not lying. You're just an asshole.
This is not my religion. This is...
Yeah, it is your religion. Your religion where you reify bloody horizons into sphere edges. You don't have to like it. All you can do is talk through me and tell me that I'm misrepresenting you. I'm not.
This is a fact about spheres. It's not a religion.
Yeah, a religion, I've said it 3 times, where you reify the horizon, an arbitrary position, into the edge of a sphere.
I haven't done that.
Yeah, you have. What do you think it is? What do you think you're arguing about when you say it bends or it wouldn't bend?
No, it's an apparent line between the earth.
Yes, so you are talking about the horizon, you daft twat.
I'm not talking about the edge of the earth.
Yeah, you are. It bending, and you're comparing it to a bloody ball. Yes, you are. You're so stupid. You don't even know what you're representing here.
You're just misrepresenting me.
I'm not misrepresenting you. You've just said.
In a really angry, egoic way.
Yeah, because you are reifying the horizon, an arbitrary position, into the edge of a sphere, and then telling me how it compares to the edge of a ball.
You've lost my argument into semantic bullshit.
Oh, have I really? You're going to call it semantics now and I've raised my blood pressure? Piss off, Dawn. You are too dumb to argue here. Too stupid to have a conversation. Tell me that I'm misrepresenting him and that he's not reifying the bloody horizon into the edge of a sphere after comparing it to a ball. Telling me that I'm lying? These people are total assholes. Tell me I'm lying, prick. No, you're the liar here. Telling me that you're not doing precisely what I'm detailing. Bloody fundies.
Well,
Hey, well on the case. Thanks for unmuting everyone.
Yep.
I haven't got a coffee in me and my blood pressure's raised.
Yeah, it's seemed pretty early for something like that.
What's up, Righteous?
Hey, Redman, what's going on?
Good morning.
Are you at work?
Yeah, I'm at work.
Okay. So good morning then, eh?
I work 6 days a week.
Well, a show like this is nice when you're working or you want something in the background.
Yeah, that's why I just sit back and listen. Hey, that one guy, he was pretty triggered yesterday.
Wait. Oh, Flat Earth Data. Okay, yeah. He's just new.
Yeah, he was triggered like crazy.
He's not used to the regular crowd there yet. But a lot of new people that come on there, they're first triggered until they get used to the crowd being more relaxed. Because all the regulars there are pretty relaxed. We just enjoy having chit-chat back and forth.
Dang, so
It seemed...
he ain't even started the show yet?
What's that? Did you say that again?
You heard me, Righteous?
I didn't hear you. I don't know. Say that again.
I said he hadn't even started the show yet, and Don triggered him already.
Yeah, Donna's good at. Donna's good at doing that.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, this is the
Who said
first time
that?
I'm using Discord. I'm just wondering if it's coming through okay.
Yeah, you coming through my end. You have to ask right.
Gotta turn my music down a bit though.
Hey, Righteous, did you ever share that marksman thing with Nathan?
No, but Paul did. He shared one of the pictures from it. And he presented it on the show yesterday.
Okay. He asked me to post it to Master B, but I don't know where that's at. So.
Wait, you got access to Master B?
No, he asked me to post it over there because I just went ahead and gave him the whole citation. Gave him the whole, the paper. And he asked me, did I post it over to Master B? And I was like, no, I don't have no access to that. I guess he thought I had access to that.
Yeah. Well, he's got Discord, so.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Flatsoid.
Hey, Flatsoid. Probably fiddle with that dark mode setting now. Any idea how to do it?
In YouTube?
In Discord.
Oh, in Discord. I don't know.
Don't worry. I thought you might know.
I think it's by. Shouldn't it be by default dark mode? I don't know.
After things updated, it just changed to not dark mode.
Discord working today?
Yeah, it certainly seems that way.
Yeah, and it wasn't Discord. It was Nathan's something on his PC, an update messed something up.
Correct. Nothing wrong with Discord. All of the PC sounds and anything that's on the PC line wasn't coming out, so I knew that from pretty early on when I tried to play iTunes during the show, because that comes through the same line, and it just didn't. There was nothing, so I knew there was some issue with that line, and no matter what I did to that line, it just seemed like it had died, which is weird. I've never seen that in a PC where, in your sound settings, when you go to the little picture of a speaker and go to sound, well, in there you've got all your different line-ins, so you've got like Realtek audio, or your microphone might be in there, or your headphones will be in there, on whatever input they're on and how it's labelled, or your sound card, or whatever. Anyway, I've never seen one of those die, like a line in that box. I've never seen that before. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Like a sound line not work anymore. I've seen sound cards die, but this, everything electronic for everything else would also die if something electronic had died. Whereas on the desk itself, literally one of the lines now does not function. It's really bizarre. But there we go.
Just because of the update?
Seems that way, yeah. It was working perfectly happily. There's two outputs. One of them was working, the other one was working. Now one of them doesn't and the other one does. So I just swapped from the dead one to the live one. Not that you'd think you'd need any sort of redundancy in digital equipment, but there we go. It has redundancy. I always wondered why.
Speaking of updates, my PC wants to update too today.
What updated today?
There's like no, it hasn't updated, but a net framework wants to update. I thought I turned like updates off or something somehow. I'm not even sure if you can do that on Windows 10. I'm kind of new to it.
Truth in Your Face in the Discord server. Subscribe today if you're not already subscribed to Truth in Your Face. Very amusing videos. Also very poignant.
Thanks, mate.
Is it Rocco? Have I got your name right?
Roscoe. R-O-S-S.
Roscoe. Sorry. Roscoe. I was close.
Close enough. I have a question about compasses, if anyone knows anything about compasses.
Certainly not me. Buddy, Flatzoid, Righteous Force.
Depends.
Well, actually, it's probably not a question about compasses. I've just been wondering, and I don't know if this has actually been answered before, I'm in Australia, at the bottom part of Australia. If I'm standing and facing north, if I use a homemade compass, for example, one that you put a little float on water with a magnetic pin, the needle points to the sky. So just imagine if we're on a ball, my north is actually pointing up into so-called space. But if I'm using like a water float thing, shouldn't the needle try to bend down towards the Earth, to go through the Earth towards the North Pole? If you know what I mean?
Well, for a start, shouldn't it try and point to the South Pole? That would be my first point of contention. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying if you draw a line on, so you zoom out from a presupposed sphere Earth view of this compass being laid on a puddle with, I don't know, a leaf with a bit of wire that you've magnetised, right? So it would just spin to north, naturally, on the puddle. And you're saying if you drew a tangent line, you'd see it pointing off not to the presupposed North Pole on the sphere, but out maybe a 45-degree angle away from the North Pole. Correct?
Yeah, correct. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I'm just wondering if it's got something to do with the way magnetism works and all that. I don't really know much about that.
I mean,
do we really know how the magnetic field really looks above our plane? I mean,
there's certainly representations of it, yes.
Could actually work for the torus or something.
Well, you can see it. So one of the things that people often don't notice about the thumbnail for Flat Earth Debate Live is that the backdrop's a magnetic declination on an azimuthal equidistant projection from the North Pole. So it's an azimuthal equidistant magnetic declination map. That's what's behind the thumbnail, and it's, at least when represented from the North Pole, it presents itself as a quadrupole system. So just have a look at some of the magnetic declination maps. Just type that in, Roscoe, and see if you can find a path to walk along.
Yeah, and that can actually change depending where you are. Maybe that's why it's pointing up.
It's a shame Anthony's not here, so if Sleeping Warrior is around, I'm sure it'd go on and on about declination to your heart's content. Whether or not it's related in this regard, I don't know.
He's still fighting with the ballers. 5 divided by 0 is 5. They don't understand.
5 divided by 0 is not 5. You can't divide by 0.
Exactly. He's saying if you take 5 apples and you divide it by 0, it still stays 5 apples. That's his point.
No, it doesn't. That's divided by 1. Can't divide by 0. In their mathematics, they take 0, and when divided by 0, they end up with infinity. That's their mathematics for the Big Bang. It's utter horseshit, but you can't divide by 0.
That is the problem. But still,
did you say Anthony Riley had said that 5 divided by 0 is 5?
Yes, when it comes to apples. Because in reality, you've got 5 apples. If you have to divide those 5 apples by 0, you're not dividing, so it stays at 5.
No, that's not how it works.
Makes sense.
That's incorrect. So if you've got 5 apples on the shelf of a store, the number of people, or the divisible, would be the number of people who bought them. Well, until they're bought, they're being divided by 0. They're not being divided up amongst anybody. Now, it might be the case that somebody comes in and buys 3 and someone else comes in and buys 2. But ultimately speaking, when they're on the shelf, they're not being divided by anybody now, are they?
Yeah, and that's why he's trying to explain, in reality, the 5 apples always just stay 5 apples.
But the mathematical distinction is the fact that it's saying divided by, but you can't perform that function. So to say that your remainder is 5, well, you haven't divided it by anything if you're not dividing it. So it's kind of malformed in terms of its presentation. But to say that 5 divided by 0 is not 5, that makes no sense to me mathematically. I could be wrong. I don't know. 5 divided by 1 would be 5.
Yeah, because you have 5 apples divided by 1 makes 5, yeah.
There we go. Fascinating all the same. So there we go. That was probably about as useless as a chocolate teapot for Roscoe. Totally segued away from his question.
Sorry, Roscoe.
No, it got me looking on Wiki about dividing by 0.
Okay, not about magnetic declination maps then.
I see Anthony's on Skype at the moment.
On Arwen, did you say?
No, he's on Skype. Maybe we can ask him to come in.
I could do, I suppose. I'll just send him the link, I suppose. I've sent him the link direct, so that's a hint that we want him here. I would just call him.
Master is also getting crazy about the 0 to 5 now.
You'll have to repeat that. I talked through the beginning of what you said. Say that again, please.
I said Master B is also going crazy with 0 divided by 5 and 5 divided by 0.
Oh, right. I wish I hadn't commented. If it's some sort of hot topic, bloody hell, dividing by 0 suddenly becomes a hot topic. It's only a hot topic when you're saying the creation of everything comes out of that division. Whereas Just Anthony's incorrect assertion about something mathematically relatively basic is kind of inconsequential. Saying that the world has come out of nothing, that's a big deal. But presumably this will be used to segue away from that devastating fact of mathematics that they use.
Maths is wrong.
Not according to them, they just change how it works. Divide by 0. Create everything. Why not? It's only maths, right? No, claimed to be our reality. Birth of the universe.
Yeah, the ballers love the math. If you give them like a math problem, they're all over it. I mean, nothing against that, but interesting.
Yeah, well, they think math is more real than reality.
Well, when you love something, maybe you want it to be real.
You think they love the globe?
Yeah, I mean, look how cool space is. Who wouldn't love it?
I mean, there's a difference between loving something and thinking it's pretty cool. I mean, I think space is pretty cool. Or I did.
Good point.
I used to love the ball until I found this YouTube channel.
You used to love the ball?
No, I used to until I found this channel.
But when you say loved it, what do you mean by that?
No, I think the same as what you are. Like, I was fascinated with space and all that stuff.
Yeah, same here. I used to go to sleep every night searching through science at NASA to see what new nonsense they'd got. And I've said this a few times before, but I was always deeply disappointed with the results. So they'd tell you about something exciting in some far-flung land far, far away, and they'd only ever show you an artist's impression, and it would always disclaim it. You know, it would always be in the bottom right-hand corner, artist's impression or visualization or whatever. So they weren't trying to hide it particularly, but I was, you know, aware that it wasn't. They weren't really showing you anything, and you kind of always left feeling a bit empty, as opposed to loving it. I was always like, ugh. Underwhelmed at best with their garbage.
I was never that much into it to look at NASA sites. That's kind of really liking it, I guess.
Yeah, I was more on the sci-fi side.
Yeah, like video games and movies.
Yeah, I like my telescope and looking at the moon, but each their own.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Feel free.
So, what are your thoughts on the subject of UFOs? I know I probably can guess that you're going to say, I don't know, and I agree, I don't know either, but coming to the realization that it's a flat plane or a flat whatever it is, or that space is fake, what do you think about all the lore out there about UFOs, about abductions, about visitations? Just curious.
Who are you asking? Just anybody?
Yeah, just anybody. I mean, this is if it's not a magical spinning water ball, as Chocolate says, then what's up with all these stories of visitation and everything?
Okay. I mean, go on. You go first, Flatsoid.
I don't know if you know about Project Bluebeam.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it all ties into it. And if you look at even CIA documentation and things with
Flatsoid, sorry.
brainwashing.
Flatsoid, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to play dumb. Oh, what's Bluebeam? Never heard of it. You'll have to tell me all about it.
Okay. It's sort of like a psyop to try and, let's just say it's one of the things to try and make space look real. So obviously they're going to put somehow with a fake alien invasion. I mean, it's the way to keep space real, if I can put it in short words. But I mean, it all falls onto, there's even documents from the CIA with mind control experiments and stuff that people really believe they've been abducted, but it was just actual experiments. How can I say? MK Ultra. Do you know what MK Ultra is?
Hologram in the sky.
It's a Discord
That's
channel.
Blue Beam, just before it gets confusing for the audience. So Blue Beam, holograms in the sky. And then we're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, the
MK
balloons
Ultra.
with the hologram images.
Just want to clarify that. So MK Ultra is not holograms in the sky.
No, but it's part of it.
Sure, it's the
They
brainwashing
can make
part.
you think they are.
Okay, I mean, the
Yeah,
only...
it's just,
Go on. Oh, sorry, I thought you were
just
done.
this. Sorry, it's just the off stream of Bluebeam, you can say. It's just a part of it. But yeah, Bluebeam itself is just holograms. That's why when the people say the ISS is a hologram and stuff, and people don't believe it. Well, if you look at the technology you got today and all the patents that even the US military has today, it's very possible.
I mean, I think he was asking in the affirmative, i.e., if what do we believe is real about it? If they're, if we've got UFOs, I think that was kind of the way the question was phrased. I mean, the only thing I would say is in terms of the terminology. So extraterrestrial. Well, what's terrestrial? Well, that doesn't take much logical extrapolation, right? In terms of what they're kind of hinting at. Extra terror. Well, in terms of what we're told with the bullshit history we do have, we're told of discoveries of places beyond where we knew. So when they discovered the places that they didn't know before, there was often people there, and they were similar to us. Not the same, but very similar. So what's to say that there isn't more of the same going out further, another race of people that are going to be slightly more orangey, or slightly more green, or whatever. But I'm saying that because you've seen that in what seems to be our reported history, discoveries of new peoples, well, what's to say that there isn't other extra territories that have different people? Now, that's not to say that they're suddenly going to be little green grey aliens with, technological advancements beyond our dreams, or women with 3 breasts on Mars, because those sorts of fantasies are very much seeded in the idea of an infinitely expanding universe, and therefore the possibilities of technological advanced societies are far more likely given the infinite nature of their solar system and their ever-expanding universe. So given that that's the case, I would say that the only likelihood is that we'll find other people, if at all. But that's certainly a possibility that there's extra territories, but they wouldn't be up, they'd be out, they'd be towards the horizon. Hey, 10th man, how is he gone already?
Good. Hello? Yeah, we might just be the natives. You never know.
Did you say we might not be the natives?
I say we might just be the natives.
Oh,
you never know.
Be the natives, right.
Are the natives restless this morning?
Did you get that photo, Ten? I put on last to be the one with Big Dipper and in South Australia and Northern Australia.
Oh, the one with the sky picture?
Oh shit, I haven't actually scheduled a show. It's five minutes before, I've not actually scheduled it yet. Better get on with it, eh? What are we on, 957? Yes. There we go. Here or be sphere. Starting about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I see that picture of the sky and the Big Dipper, but that's not the one that I think.
We're almost there. Almost a full sentence.
I'm trying to think of the name. Glenn. I think Glenn. Yeah, he posted it. I want to know the source, and
the one by Ecuador.
Yeah, but that's not enough of a source for us to validate it. So we just need more information. So did we get Discord figured out?
Yeah, we're gonna have ballers on tonight.
Cool. What was the, how do I, just a little minor problem for Discord or what?
It seemed like it was an update or something on Nathan's PC that changed some settings around.
Ah, got it. That explains it. Yeah, I went and went through that field manual a little bit more, and found an article on elevation. And if we have time, I'll share a couple of slides. I took some still shots. It says the sniper uses hold off to hit a target at ranges other than the range for which the rifle is presently adjusted. When the sniper aims directly at a target at ranges greater than the set range, his bullet will hit below the point of aim. At lesser ranges, his bullet will hit higher than trajectory and bullet drop, D-R-O-P. He will be able to hit the target at ranges other than that for which the rifle was adjusted. For example, the sniper adjusts the rifle for a target located 500 meters downrange, and another target appears at range of 600 meters. The hold off would be 25 inches. That is, the sniper should hold off 25 inches above the center of the visible mass in order to hit the center of mass of the particular target. Exactly what I was saying. Not earth turn. If it's your rifle is, if your rifle is set for a certain range, say 400 meters, and you just see something further out, it's telling you, depending if you're shooting downwards or upwards on your elevation, how much adjustment you have to do in your arc. And for 400 meters, it has 14 inches.
Did you print that manual?
Ink, paper, molecule. How dare you? How dare you? You know, just shooting the different caliber guns here on property and having people who are much better trained than I am come here and use the property for shooting. It's so obvious. So, target were to appear 400 meters, the sniper would aim 14 inches below the ueter of the visible mass in order to hit the center of the mass.
So what's the longest? You said you have like a shooting range or something outdoors. What's the longest you guys shoot?
We mostly practice with handguns, but for tactical and for self-defense. Like if you're in a home, if someone breaks in, so we do a lot of training for that. But we do skeet shooting, so we have the clay targets, and that's a good one to disprove Coriolis.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. No, the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Righteous Force, 10th Man, and Flatzoid in G+. How are you all doing?
Doing well.
Good afternoon. Hello, hello.
Hello from California.
Hello, hello, hello. Also joined by quite a few people in Discord as well. Hello to everyone in Discord. Good to have you.
Evening.
Wow, enthusiastic start from Discord. Any signs of Earth curvature?
No.
Go flat in South Africa.
Yep. Same here from California. No curvature.
Anybody? Anybody in the Discord server? No? Any evidence of axial rotation? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go on.
Got a bite.
Got a bite. Got a bite.
No, just me just saying nothing down under.
Oh, darn. I mean, yeah. Any evidence of axial rotation?
Of the Earth-based variety?
Always of the Earth-based variety, always.
Nope.
No axial rotation of the Earth-based variety. So therefore, no Coriolis of the Earth-based variety.
No, Earth's got to be spinning. Cause Coriolis effect.
And no deflecting bullets, and planes, and helicopters, and so on.
I just heard helicopter, but always a great example. One word is all you need with that.
What, marshmallows?
No, helicopters. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Just a conceptual medium.
We have to define what it is since they can't define and give us one succinct answer. How's that?
Bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time to give rise to a non-force, force that you can think of as a force but isn't actually a force, called gravity.
So that was a mouthful. So how do you apply that to the scientific method? How do you manipulate?
You can't.
You don't.
Okay, so I respectfully deny that.
Hey, Chocolate.
Hello, Chocolate. What's up, guys? Morning.
Sky.
So on that topic, they have not scientifically validated gravity, and they're fooling the masses into thinking that's exactly what it is.
To quote George Musa, "Oh no, not at all."
I think that says it all.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
Nope.
That's a good point. Where is Arwen? No. There is no measured distance to the sun.
What do we know about the sun? We know it's above us and it moves.
And it's hot.
And it's...
I don't know if you could even stretch that far. It seems that it's producing heat.
It's hot. Yeah.
Might not be. You tell me when you get there.
Well, remember they say the closer you are, you won't burn up.
It's definitely increasing entropy, I'll give you that much.
Oh, definitely. My skin tells me that when I'm outdoors all day.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Marshmallow.
Floor is yours, Flatzoid.
Marshmallow.
That's not proof of anything.
Yeah, but that's equating the fact that it's as absurd as marshmallows being there, right?
Yeah, but I can easily prove that a toasted marshmallow's got a sweet and delicious, not iron, but molten core.
Well, it's more realistic, though.
I think you have to be on marshmallows to even believe there is one. How's that?
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container?
How do they even fight this one?
Keyword, pressure. No.
Yeah, pressing, pressure, correct. Need something to press on. Any evidence the R value, Earth radius, the presupposition thereof?
There are be none here.
No.
On Discord. Some mumblings.
I think
that's it.
I think the ballers are afraid the subject might go back to Coriolis, and they don't want to get whooped again.
No, Zanuck loves the Coriolis.
Oh, then bring him on.
Still hasn't showed up yet.
I got into it with him again yesterday on the Flat Earth Initiative on Dr. Science's channel. And it's kind of funny because he was trying to say how, Kosho's citation, it's just all wrong. So apparently that's what Zanuck believes, is that the citation is wrong, and most of the Globers are running around with a false narrative of what Coriolis is supposed to be. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, in defense of Zanuck, I would have to say that the first one from Thoughtco is not like a proper source.
Well, that was the whole point, is that was Kosho's source, right?
Yeah, I get you.
Provided to us by the ball side.
But remember, Zanuck is Zanuck is Kosho's teacher. He's just correcting him.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
we could lay all this mumbo jumbo to rest, because we got the high priest astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that a football, a 50-yard distance kicked by a man's foot, experienced Earth-based Coriolis. So that article from Thoughtco, no matter how they want to describe it, validates Neil deGrasse Tyson. You must have two reference frames.
Right, and I'll tell him, like I told everybody else, where's the citation that proves this citation wrong? Because every time I've looked up Coriolis, it's always had the same description of it. So where is the correct one? And please provide us with that. Thanks.
Well, do you remember on yesterday's show when we were talking and I said, hell, let them come with new definitions and let them say it's this, because we have already years and years and documented proof of what they said it was. So as they try to change Coriolis, because it's not convenient for them right now, they're going to run into their own rhetoric.
Hey, Arwin.
Hello.
So yeah, come on, Zanuck. Bring on your, what do you call it? Latitudes.
Hi, Paul.
Good morning.
Morning, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
What's up, Paul?
So is there any ballers in Discord at all?
I don't know what anybody's disposition is, just by their name, unfortunately.
The very argument they use of powered flight destroys them immediately when they think they've got something. They think, oh, if we say powered flight, that's a win for the ballers. Well, actually, powered flight is a win for flat earthers. As we've discussed on the show, the longer you could stay up in that other reference frame, the more the non-inertial reference frame, the Earth, could spin, rotate, whatever you want to say, underneath you.
Right. And challenging that doublespeak will lead people like George Netanyahu to attack people like Brian Mullen's career, based on his pointing out that the Earth would rotate underneath aeroplanes. They need to protect that doublespeak at all costs, because it's a glaring contradiction within their model when they're using Earth rotating underneath an inertial reference frame as proof that it's spinning, and that simply doesn't happen, leading the fundies like George and Rumpus to come here and argue that Earth and atmosphere travel as one, flying in the face of the Coriolis deviation needed to prove it spins. It's not demonstrating it. It's not demonstrating
now we'll do some apple juice.
Pop yourself on mute, Paul.
Apple juice.
Did I say apple juice?
What?
Did you hear?
Yeah, well, you
Am I not muted? Sorry, guys.
Earth's not demonstrating the deviation needed to prove it spins. We're supposed to see deviation. So next time you hear an argument from a fundy globehead about how we don't see deviation, just point out to them that the rhetoric is supposed to have deviation. That's the thing that's supposed to prove it spins. Spins underneath the inertial reference frame, as asserted by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Ball gets kicked, Earth spins underneath.
Yeah, so where's the...
According to Mr. Zanuck, nothing leaves reference frames. He repeated it again and again yesterday. Nothing leaves the reference frame. Not the object, not you, not nothing.
There is no reference frame.
So the Earth is against
exactly.
What about burn fat till my stomach's flat? A little test he did in this convertible. Left that reference frame.
In order to see a deviation, you would leave a non-inertial spinning reference frame and enter an inertial reference frame. This isn't something that's going to take anybody any degree of time to look up and verify. That's how you get the effect. The apparent deviation is because you rotate underneath. It's apparent because the thing isn't actually moving. It's not deviating. You're rotating underneath. That's two reference frames, absolutely required to have the deviation.
Correct.
Don't have to like it, fundies. Earth's not demonstrating that deviation that you need.
But we have a motto.
Then they go and say some cockamamie. Well, the atmosphere rotates with the Earth and it's stuck, lockstep. Oh, really? So what about all the different winds, northeast, south? If the Earth is rotating west to east and it's stuck, how do you have within that different winds at the same time in the same day?
How does that relate to the lockstep situation?
Well, they're saying that the Earth is rotating west to east at 1,038 miles an hour at the equator, and the whole atmosphere at the different points from the equator to south and north is turning with it.
Yes. So what does it matter then?
Well, it matters.
I asked Zanuck that question yesterday, and his response was, well, there's low pressure systems and high pressure systems, and this makes, this makes the different direction in wind. So I said, okay, so that means that the atmosphere is not circulating with the Earth, right? And he says, no, it is, but, just a little bit, it's not. It is, but it's not.
Unpack this. So even if they get their assertion and can demonstrate that Earth and atmosphere, or stuff that is fundamentally unbonded, i.e. gas, can somehow travel along with the non-inertial reference frame, then they are arguing for a defiance of Coriolis effect. The effect that's claimed to prove Earth spins is the deviation they're saying won't happen because they're travelling together. So they're fighting against the claim that Earth is demonstrating Coriolis deviation because you leave the frame of reference that is spinning, claimed to be the spinning Earth, demonstrating a deviation as you rotate underneath the inertial reference frame. We don't see the deviation, and that's why we end up in arguments with fundies about why we don't see a deviation that absolutely should be there to prove it's spinning. But they're arguing about how we don't see it. Well, don't see what? The deviation needed to prove it's spinning. It's not there.
But it's too late for them because they've already said it's there with a bullet, with a football, with the Foucault pendulum, with the ring laser gyro. So if it's there for those things, it's got to be there.
Yeah, but is any of that official?
Of course it is.
Oh, really? So where is it written that that is official? Because I think that's just baller hearsay, really.
Well, then the baller hearsay has been around for how long now then? How many centuries?
Yeah, but the baller hearsay is just nonsense that keeps on changing and double speaking whenever convenient. Let's just go with what is official and not with the baller rumors.
Well, the official narrative is that the Earth is spinning. So there it is.
With Neil deGrasse Tyson putting out messages about people making field goals because of Coriolis, would that be official enough for you? I mean,
that's officially retarded. Yeah.
It is.
No, the baller narrative.
I agree.
The baller narrative. Working. The baller narrative is that we're on the ball and we're spinning at 1,038 at the equator.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the official consequences and how that admittedly would be able to be measured, not just what ballers say in general.
Oh, no worries. I'll address that immediately then. The way they would try to account for it is by having a much shortened length of time when flying from Charlotte, North Carolina, say, to LA on the same line, and you wouldn't have any deviation to account for, just the decrease in travel time because the Earth rotates underneath.
I get that, Nathan, but I wasn't talking about reality. I was talking about the official narrative.
Well, the official narrative comes with a glaring contradiction, because there's only two sides of the argument that they can argue. Side one, Earth rotates underneath the football when it's kicked and goes through the goal because Earth and the football posts rotated underneath the ball after it left the rotational frame of Earth that spins. That's their claim. If that's their claim, as per Neil deGrasse Tyson and the official narrative, Earth has Coriolis deviation, that deviation that you appears to take place in the ball from you on observing it in the stands, is the effect of you remaining on a frame of reference that keeps spinning, claimed to be the Earth that spins underneath the ball. Well, if they claim that, as they should, then you ask them why it's not rotating underneath aeroplanes and helicopters and drones, because it absolutely would rotate underneath a aeroplane in the same way it rotates underneath a ball, as asserted by Neil deGrasse Tyson. So that's step one. Argue about why the fact we don't see any deviation in things like aeroplanes with a massively extended hang time. Or they argue that Earth and atmosphere travels as one, normally as a consequence of you pointing out that you should have reduced airtime travel. And they say, no, Earth is travelling as one. Well, number one, that wouldn't give you the effect described by Neil deGrasse Tyson. But also, that's an argument against the being the deviation claimed to prove Earth spins.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
They're really not hip to that, which is, I think, why it's now we have to change the narrative of Coriolis. Because I was really in disbelief with Zanuck saying, "Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong." Like, really, really, Zanuck.
Yeah, they're just
confusion of 2019.
Very interesting, right? It's kind of like Rumpus saying, "Oh, we have to tell these physicists that they got to stop telling people that gravity is a force, or gravity is not a force." It's like, oh, now they have to change the rhetoric, literally in real time. So that's pretty funny.
Well, yeah. Chocolate, they're gonna stretch every meaning of every word and take it out of context to keep their baby the ball as much as possible. If every time they do that, it's a win for us because they contradict what they said 2 minutes before.
It's unfortunate because their narrative gives them no choice. Their narrative tells them that the atmosphere is running around, spinning around with the Earth, but at the same time it tells them that there's Coriolis. So, yeah.
Exactly. Their narrative comes with a glaring contradiction, and cognitively it's going to be painful for anybody who's trying to argue that. Like I say, gotta keep it protected, keep that double speak well under control to the point where you'll attack men's careers over the pointing out that it's completely riddled with doublespeak and contradiction. That's why they do it. You know, you can't let this argument come out nice and concisely. You can't have people saying, hang on a second, if you're saying Earth and atmosphere travel as one, you don't get the deviation you need to prove Earth spinning now, do you? Or they say, yeah, Earth and atmosphere are separate. You've got the ball leaving Earth that's spinning and proving it's spinning by deviating and going through the field goal. Or a bullet you release from its chamber and it deviates because Earth's rotating underneath it. Oh, really? Well, why don't you have reduced flight times then? Because the frame of reference you're claiming that bullet's in is the same frame of reference an aeroplane or a drone or a helicopter is in. And if you flew from Charlotte, North Carolina with that effect in play, i.e. Earth rotating underneath the bullet, then you'd have a 1.5 hour flight time with Earth rotating towards the west underneath you, bringing the continent or place that you are travelling towards you. So they've only got one escape route, which is to revert to Earth and atmosphere travel as one. Oh, not giving you the deviation that you need to prove it's spinning then. And round you'll go. But now it'll go round nice and concisely down the toilet hole of globe Earth.
Which they have to abandon the toilet bowl, Coriolis, because they say that is not true either now.
In which direction?
You know, I was thinking about that yesterday with every time they always bringing up hurricanes. And I'm like, you know, they might as well go back to the toilet. To the toilet thing. why don't they do that?
Well, that's an extra layer. So what that is their own insertion, with hurricanes and water going different ways down either side of the claim to be centre point of a presupposed spherical Earth. Those arguments are there intentionally to be debunked as nonsense. Oh, well, no, that doesn't really... You know, those are actual deviations. That's just people's misunderstandings of what apparent actually means. I.e., if you've got a drone leaving the roundabout and it's got a little taped X underneath it on the roundabout, when you push the up stick on your drone, it flies up. Only up. It's not flying left or right, only up. And underneath it, the X rotates around and around and around. But if you're on the roundabout, you seem to see the drone flying towards you and flying away from you. Well, it's actually you rotating underneath. That's why it's an apparent deflection. The drone's not actually flying towards you or away from you when it leaves the roundabout. It's hovering in one place. But it seems to fly towards you. No, that's because it's an apparent deviation. But you need to see that apparent deviation because the apparent deviation is there because you're rotating on a roundabout. And you'd need to see it on Earth because Earth's supposed to be like the roundabout, rotating underneath the bullet, or the ball, or the aeroplane that doesn't have a reduced flight time, or the drone that doesn't drift away from you as you push the up stick, or the helicopter that can quite easily hover without a continent coming towards it. All of those things debunk. Hey, Brunty.
Hiya, you're right.
All of those things debunk the spinning ball Earth. So without that deviation, there is no proof of spinning. And arguing that they're travelling as one is arguing there isn't a deviation. So they're screwed 6 ways from Sunday with Coriolis. Hence their vitriol and over-the-top attacks on people when they point that out nice and concisely, like Brian Mullen did.
I think this really is the end game. For the past few years, you know, we've been going back and forth, but this really feels like, at least, you know, for this decade, as we go into 2020, it feels like this is really the end game, because even if they show the different reference frames and all that, they still have to measure it. They have to show how fast the atmosphere is spinning, not spinning, and so on and so forth.
Well, number one, it can't be done.
Yeah, first,
it's a defiance of gas law.
They would have to show it. I'm sorry.
Well, they'd have to show an effect that the fundies fight for that won't give them proof of Earth spinning. The deviation itself should be obvious and observable if the Earth is spinning underneath anything that leaves it, like anything that spins underneath that drone. If it's spinning, it's obvious. It drifts or seems to drift away because you rotate underneath. That's the proof it spins. And without that effect, there isn't a proof it spins. The reality, what we actually observe, is things can just go up and come back down again. Earth does not spin underneath them. That's why they argue that you've got the two travelling as one in defiance of any Coriolis deviation needed to prove it spins. That's why they fight against it. Because they don't have it. There isn't any deviation. Things aren't leaving a rotating frame of reference. Earth isn't rotating. They don't have the deviation. They don't have the proof. It's not spinning. That's blatantly obvious to anybody with a set of ears. You'd know about it if you were moving. You're not. And the deviation would prove it if it was, and it isn't, because there isn't any deviation. Sorry, I'm just repeating myself, Arwin. Go ahead.
Right, and we wouldn't even be debating it. We would have all witnessed it already at some point, looking up at a plane. We would have all seen it. We would have seen an airplane or something, you know, moving off course. But we don't, ever.
Yep, and it wouldn't need to measure anything, because it would be absolutely apparent when you arrived much, much sooner travelling west. Because obviously it's rotating underneath you, and that means that the continent, or whatever place you're travelling to, comes to you as you fly to it. Well, that would be really obvious. Like I say, an hour-and-a-half flight time from Charlotte to LA. That's what you'd have as a net result of the Earth rotating underneath that ball that Neil deGrasse Tyson asserts. Oh, that's convenient. It's only in the air for a couple of seconds. What about a plane? It's in the air for hours. Oh, it doesn't show the effect. Oh, well, that's because there isn't an effect. And your bullshit that it only happens in things that stay in the air for a couple of seconds is a ham-handed way of letting the public know, oh yeah, it's definitely there, that's still in effect, that proof that we're spinning, that deviation does happen. Look, it happens in this ball, that's why the field goal went through. Really? No. The planes would be considerably quicker in their duration of travel if Earth rotated underneath them, as you assert it did under that ball, Mr. deGrasse Tyson. Fraud and charlatan and liar. Just asserting bollocks. Because that's what his religion tells him to assert.
And I'm not sure exactly about that the Charlotte to LA flight, but I know when I've flown from New York to LA, usually that flight is longer than the flight from LA back to New York, which absolutely doesn't make sense on a spinning ball if it was a different reference frame. So that just shits on the argument even more.
Yeah, we'll draw up a headstone for Coriolis-based Earth-based Coriolis. Here lies Earth-based Coriolis. Died 2019 after a long, slow, painful, cancerous death. Starting in 2014.
Well, can we get a prayer for Coriolis real quick?
Yeah, sure. Radius Dominus Gravitus Spiritus Sanctus Arwin. Go in peace, Coriolis effect.
I don't think we've seen the last of it. I think the ghost of Coriolis is going to wander on for a long time to come.
Coriolis is real. Coriolis is alive. Coriolis can easily be demonstrated by tossing a ball up in the air while you're on a roundabout. It won't come back to your hand because you rotate underneath it. The ball just goes up and down. That's Coriolis effect. The fact that it seems to curve away from your hand, presumably behind you, is because you're continuing to rotate underneath. So Coriolis effect isn't dead. Earth-based Coriolis effect is lying in a grave right now with us all taking a little piss on it.
I think the last words recorded before Coriolis died was the physician saying, "How do you feel?" And Coriolis said, "I'm not spinning."
I was never there to begin with. I was never real. Earth-based Coriolis was never there. He was never really spinning.
No. My life was a lie.
No, life was a lie. So many days talking about how I went along with the Earth, knowing that that didn't give me a deviation.
Did anybody catch Neil deGrasse Tyson on Joe Rogan talking about gravity again? It was hilarious.
Zanuck is actually changing.
Yeah, there's a new one.
On it recently?
It was on there again.
Oh God.
Yeah, recent.
See, now I don't want to watch it, but now I have to watch it just so I can.
No, you have to. You have to. There's actually just a, you know how they do the JRE clips? They're like little excerpts of the main show. There's one just for, it says Joe Rogan and Neil deGrasse Tyson tackle gravity, and it's just an absolute clown show. He basically says that we understand gravity. That's why we were able to land on Mars. Then he double speaks. Says it's a bending of space time. Then he calls it a force. It's just the classic clown show shit.
Now they understand gravity, because the last time he was asked, he was like, "Oh, we don't know. Next question."
And he compared it to going forward.
Yeah, but what do you expect
But he's
from
got a
an
new
Afro
book out, so
system?
he's promoting his bullshit again.
Yeah, he's just an actor, so.
It's just a priest. He's a heliocentric priest on tour.
Yeah.
Zanuck is actually coming at the spinning of the Earth in a different angle now. Different weights will weigh something different at different latitudes. That's his new argument. So, and he pulls up Wolfie's weighing of I think a 50 milligram weight at the equator, and then measuring it up a different latitude, and it weighs less or something, weighs more. I can't remember exactly what it was. So that's his new argument.
Yeah,
affirming
I've heard that before.
Affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy.
I've heard that before. Is there any actual citations or other experiments? Because I've heard that a few times coming up. Like if you're in a plane moving in one direction, the weight.
Two things. Number one, it's not scientific evidence of anything. Number two, it's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If latitude lines on a sphere, weight change. Weight change, therefore latitude lines on a sphere. If P, then Q. Q, therefore P.
There's too many variables anyway.
Like with any claim to be globe proof, and this is, I say 99.9% because I'm sure someone will come up with something that defies this, but typically all evidence that claims to be proof of a sphere starts with the presupposition you are on a sphere.
There
aren't any exceptions that I've seen so far. Now, you might not spot it immediately, but there's always an assumption of a sphere in there somewhere. So this is no different. It's not scientific evidence, and it affirms the consequent.
Imagine, though, that if this weight thing was actually an argument on the ball side, they would have a lot more demonstrations of that at least, because now it's just they're randomly saying it, and they've said it, but I haven't seen much more than just, say Wolfie or other people saying it.
Sure, but when they say it, they assert a cause, don't they? What causes that, according to the fundy globehead zealots? Is it because of we're on us being on a globe, right? Gravity, right? What's their asserted cause of that effect? If they're saying that's an effect, they'll have a cause for it, won't they?
Well, if it was me and I was one of the five...
Hold on. Go ahead.
Who? Which
I was
one?
just saying, it's really grasping at straws at this stage. That's why it comes back to what I was saying. Feels like the end game, because this weights thing is really, really grasping at straws. That's all I wanted to say. Cheers.
But you still need to know how to unpick it. So if they're asserting a cause and effect relationship, which I assure you they are, then you can ask them for their hypothesis. Oh, this is scientific evidence then. This is an established cause and effect relationship with a hypothesis-based prediction and scientific validity given through systematic experimentation. This cause and effect relationship, this absolutely falls in the range of science relationship. Oh, no, it's not. It's just you're affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy strapped onto a bullshit claim, not a phenomena. Oh, right, that's interesting. You know how to affirm the consequent, and you don't understand that you've got a cause and effect relationship being asserted without a natural phenomena that you're going to give us the cause of, that undoubtedly dictates the world that we live in. No thanks. I'm good.
And push them enough on it, they'll end up saying, well, science doesn't prove things. Science is never established. Oh, really? Because we started this all out with science proved the ball. Science was settled, right? Now all of a sudden the narrative is, oh, science doesn't prove things. kind of cute.
I think I'm going to get in the gold market. I'm going to go down to the equator and buy a bunch of gold, and then I'm going to go to Alaska and sell it. So I think I've just figured it out.
You don't think people would have been doing that already, right? People would have been on that hustle already? Come on, guys. It's not spinning. There's no gravity. We don't live in a ball. It's just nonsense. You guys believe in cartoons. And not that I got anything wrong with cartoons, I love Dragon Ball Z, but I know that's a cartoon. You guys think you live on a cartoon. That's ridiculous. Over.
No live show yesterday, Ranty?
No. I fell asleep and I hadn't set my alarm. So no, I slept over it. When I woke up, it was like 2:30 in the morning.
See.
So I'm off today though, so I shall get one ready for this evening. I think Adam Meakin's coming on.
Cool, cool.
Aye. Had Jose trolling me in the chat.
About what? Anything in particular?
Just drama, really. When was it? A couple of weeks ago when Toady did a presentation on my show, he put an image up and he said, and we think this is Spurs chemo. Here, this image, we think this is Spurs. And I just said, well, I can confirm after meeting Spurs that isn't Spurs chemo. So they still have it in the head that it's him. And because he appeared on the Globe Live tour yesterday, they still seem to think it's him in some way. And it's all just drama and they're calling me a liar. It's like, just ridiculous. It's not the same guy for a start, you know.
What?
But, yeah,
I don't understand.
So they're going to devote.
Spurs is clearly in front of the camera talking to people. I don't understand how.
Yeah, well, the most craziest thing is people still think I'm Spurs just because he can do accents.
What?
Oh, this is interesting. Sorry, just want to shout out the super chatter. Sorry to interrupt. Julio Pabon says, speaking of cartoons, in Aladdin, Jafar sends Aladdin to, quote, ends of the earth. Aladdin ends up on an ice wall. Yeah, interesting. What's the word? Controlled opposition narrative programming. Very interesting.
Hello, Nathan, Arwin, Ranty, everybody.
Hello.
Chocolate.
Hey, Jose.
Now, you know what the key about the chemo? This is a little funny because I didn't plan on doing this, but I heard you in the Arwin show earlier, Ranty, and I don't know why did you feel compelled to go and defend Chemo's honor on saying that wasn't him in the previous video? Because 99% of the people know that's Chemo because we hear his voice every day and we recognize people by the voice. And I'm not looking and I listen to this guy speaking Irish with a whatever German accent. I look like, holy shit, it's Chemo. And then I didn't see him for months. And then I see him in these new pictures and videos. And I say, oh, definitely was Chemo. Instantly, Ranty, you can see the facial shape with a different hair. And actually, I thought the previous video was looking darker than the actual videos of this time when you say the opposite. So yeah, I'll do a little presentation later. Yeah, I don't know why you defending him because you know that's the same guy, Chemo, like for real.
That's not the same guy. That's not the same guy, Jose.
Dude, you only got one screenshot.
Now I gotta see the picture you're talking about.
No, there's videos.
Somewhere.
There's videos. That's just one picture that Ranty is choosing, a bad quality picture. There's videos.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute,
I will present the videos with the audio, you know.
Okay, Jose.
Sorry, but this side by side is priceless. This could be like a crime watch side by side. So if you see this man on the streets, do not approach him.
So we've replaced Where's Waldo with Where's Chemo?
All right, guys. It was just easier to come in that type it in the chat. But yeah, it's a little fun thing, you know, it's nothing damaging, but I'll debunk you, Ranty.
Oh well,
because this is important stuff right here. Space time, forget about it.
Yeah, just to answer you though, Jose, was that I wasn't defending Spurs, I was defending myself. The only image that you guys said that was Spurs Chemo was the one on the right. And I said, that's not him, because I've met Spurs Chemo. And if you've got other video footage that this guy is apparently him, I haven't seen that.
The picture from the right is been taken from a video when him talking like greetings and my name is whatever, you know, talking and walking. Yeah, definitely him, because you can then add up the sound, the voice with him. So yeah, he's definitely him.
I need to see this. I need more evidence.
All right, thank you guys a lot.
Go on, what's that guy? Jason of the Disbury family? He's got videos up there where Spurs is talking to people, flat smacking people out there. I mean, he's been putting pictures of himself up on the 24/7 Discord. Like, he's not really trying to hide himself. This is what I'm saying, I guess. So I don't know how this is a conspiracy right now. This is weird.
Well, no, it's not a conspiracy with him. It's just about because when Tony did his presentation and they showed me this one image, I took a look at it and it looks nothing like Spurs chemo. For a start, the guy's got glasses. He doesn't have any beard. Hasn't got the same hairline. He's the wrong skin color. He's not as dark as Spurs chemo. So this image that they presented and said we think this is Spurs, you know, to me it looked nothing like Spurs chemo. And then suddenly something's blown up in the last couple of days or something, and because he showed himself on cam on Jason and the Disbury families, they now seem to say that it is him. In my opinion, those two images don't look like the same person at all. So I'm going to stick to my guns there and say that I still, from what I've seen from that one still shot that they presented, I don't think that is Spurs chemo. It looks nothing like him to me. You know, I mean, it might do to other people, but to me,
do you have that picture?
Yeah.
But what?
Can you post it in Master B or something so I can see it?
Let's see.
That's cool.
So what does it matter how he looks like anyway?
It doesn't, but when you have no globe arguments, you know, you got to think of other things to talk about. So.
creating drama out of nothing. But no, it doesn't. As I say, it doesn't. It really doesn't bother me. I've met Spurs, like I say, and you know. So I mean, they say that I'm trying to defend Spurs, and it's nothing of the sort. It's just that I don't think that the image they presented looked like Spurs, and genuinely, I still don't. So, you know, if they've got other footage to go with that, so be it. But who cares at the end of the day what they look like? It doesn't. It's just drama that doesn't even need to be messed around with. Let's be honest. Right, I've posted the image.
Well, you could easily know when it's Spurs by the way he says pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah, he owns that one.
Do we have a pic?
Yeah, that's the same Spurs I saw talking on the video. That's the guy.
You've seen a video with the guy with glasses, and you say that's Spurs chemo.
Yeah, I was talking Russian.
Huh?
No, not the other one, the one on the left. But the one on the right looks like it could be him too.
No, the one on the left is definitely Spurs chemo, but the one on the right is apparently this image that they've got of some random video somewhere, and the guy's wearing glasses.
Oh.
And they're trying to say that's Spurs, and to me that looks nothing like him, I have to say.
Yeah, that doesn't look like...
With glasses
That's
on,
the video
it
I've
could be
seen
the
of him.
same guy. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, hands up who's seen it and says that it's him.
Well, Nathan, you had dinner with him and sat down with him. What do you say?
Neither of them him. The guy's like Samoan. I don't really get it.
Is a woman? Is a woman?
You know, he's like at least 20 stone.
Samoan.
Yeah, man. The amount of Hawaiian pizzas that guy funneled away was amazing.
You know what the funny thing is? That Kimo himself, he said, that is not me. You guys have to hear his video. I'm going to actually share just one link and you see it on your own time right here. Hold on, I'm going to pause this.
Chemo's giant, you know, he's massive. He's not some skinny dude.
I got three links from 3 different videos. I think in one of them he's not on camera, but in 2 of them he's on camera talking. And just see this on your time. I'm gonna drop it.
What I would listen for,
like that, but why does it even matter?
It doesn't, but you're putting your name on the line as no, yeah. He who thinks that this is chemo is crazy, is out of their mind. When it is definitely chemo, Ranty. That's what it is.
What I listen for is I listen for the sound of his flabby cheeks sort of flapping around while he talks. That's quite distinctive sound. That noise of the fat cheeks. That's what I listen for.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the way he says pressure, because nobody says it like Spurs.
Pressure.
But now you bring up
exactly though. It doesn't matter. Who cares what he looks like? Is it really that important? What Spurs looks like?
Well, it got us off Coriolis, and the Globers are taking the respite.
Nathan, like I said, no globe arguments. So this is hot pressing news right now. Okay. So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Space is fake, but meanwhile, we've got a picture of some random off YouTube.
Man, that's not Spurs. The video you've linked to me is not Spurs chemo. What are you on about?
Too funny.
That's ridiculous.
Hold on, and let me just check if it is actually him. Is it a big fat Samoan guy?
No. It's
it's not Spurs.
Oh,
God, what's wrong with you people?
Oh, I've watched that video, Jose, and honestly, that is not him. What are you on, dude? Too small. The guy's about 5'4". Crikey, Spurs is over 6 foot.
Maybe it's a deviation of Spurs, and it's an apparent Spurs.
It could be, but it's definitely not him. Oh well.
Or you can say
Spurs, but you can think
Spurs,
of it as
but
Spurs.
you can think of it as Spurs.
Musa quotes, never going to get old.
It will eventually.
I don't know. I like the music quotes come in handy.
Well, just let it be repeated for another couple of months and it'll get very old. Trust me.
Well, in 100 years, they're going to be as solid as the word gravity that got repeated.
I can't see a time when the George Musa quotes will ever get old.
I know.
I see it. It'll still be relevant, though, somewhat.
They're not going to get old, but you can think of them as they're supposed to get old.
It's going to be like 2050. People are scooting around on hoverboards, going, "But you can think of it as a force."
Well, it's not so much the actual words; it's the guy who said it and his claimed academia behind his name saying it. That's where it's just so funny when a learned professor or some guy with some degrees or someone who was on Scientific American as an editor says it.
True.
I mean, if you met a hippie in LA who said it, you'd say, you know, I met a hippie today, you know what he said, and then you'd forget about it. But it's George Musa saying it.
I see what didn't look visually good either. You know, he looked a bit crazy because the camera was so close. He looked cross-eyed, and I've seen him do. I think it was a TED talk, and you know he presents very well. But for some reason, Fight the Flat Earth wasn't too concerned about saying no, you know, sit a bit further back from the camera, maybe you know, relax your shoulders. Or it wasn't interested in making him look nice visually. So instead, he ended up looking like a crazy professor visually.
Or
literally talking about magic.
When I'm in the other room.
Yeah, he's there with his cross eyes talking about magic. Exactly.
When I'm
Talk
in the other
about
room,
crazy. Is Jose on?
Say to herself,
Hold on.
gravity is not
Hold on, somebody.
a force.
Shut up. Is Jose still on?
No, go on Discord. It was
so.
Hold on, QE. Someone in Discord's been trying to get a word in.
Yeah, let him go.
No, I just said when I'm in the other room and I hear my daughter, my 8-year-old, say gravity is not a force.
Really?
That's awesome.
You hear that? She knows that?
Yeah, she listens to the show.
Nice.
Okay, are we done with Discord for now?
No, not yet.
All are welcome,
Oh,
always.
John, not too bumpy today.
I'll go in there.
That's your own show now, John.
Yeah, don't promote your own show.
Shut down.
Speaking of shows, John's going to debut his live performance for the first time on the 17th. So I think that's in about 10 days' time. There. No, maybe a bit less. 5 days' time, sorry.
Shout out, rejected.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So John will be running the live show for the first time ever.
Are you gonna do it all snazzy, John? Like, hello and welcome to Ballbusters, you crayon munching.
Don't you worry about it. I'll tell you what. There's not going to be people over talking me.
What?
Oh, come on, man. Give me a link, bro.
What did you say, QE?
Chocolate.
QE, what did you say?
He said no one's going to be over talking me, and Chocolate said, "Oh, come on, give me a link, bro."
Yeah, he said no one was going to be over talking you.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
Nobody will be over talking you. No.
Yeah, how did that work out for Nathan?
Yeah, people always over talk you. check out if you're watching this live, so check out the Uncut and After show when I start the show super early because there was loads of audio issues yesterday, and then within a few minutes Dawn's here raising my bloody blood pressure. People overtalk you, trust me.
Yeah, hey, before you close out, I'm going to give something really funny.
Yeah,
nobody showed us what QE.
What they're now doing is
right now?
they're now highlighting the point to either piss you off or, I don't know, Arwin and Ranty both playing the same game.
I'm on mute.
See?
Yeah,
I'm on mute.
Yeah, so during Jose's show yesterday, something really funny happened. Rumpus was on, okay? I got a little chance. It's the first time I've seen Jose's show in a while, right? So I just put it on. And Rumpus was on there talking to Travis, the Plain Truth. And me and Travis, we got to have a meeting because you're about to piss me off. But anyway, the Rumpus, this is what the Rumpus says. Check this out. We know the world is rotating, and we know the atmosphere is not rotating very much with respect to the Earth. Therefore, the atmosphere is rotating with the Earth. It's very simple.
What the hell? That is the worst string of doublespeak. I mean, if any Joe Blogs normal can recognise the doublespeak because it's before the full stop, that's poor. That's very poor.
That's not the best part. If you can believe it, that's not the best part.
Oh, okay, there's more.
Yeah. I quoted it. I said, what did he say? I went back a little bit because it was a live show, still live. And I went back and I painstakingly went through and got every single word he said. And I posted it in Global Debate, right? I said, the Rumpus, a.k.a. the Doofus, and I put quotes around it. And I said what he just said. And I put friggin' crazy guy emoji below it, right? All right, so guess what? Jose, with Rumpus on the show, Jose says, wait a second. I get a message from Skype, and it's Quantum Eraser. And, you know, Jose's English isn't too good, and he's a retard. So he says this. He says, okay, the Rumpus, we know the world is rotating, and we know the atmosphere is not rotating very much with respect to the Earth. Therefore, the atmosphere is rotating with the Earth. It's very simple. Rumpus thought that I said that. So Jose read that back on air. Rumpus thought that I said that, and guess what he said? He said that sounds like a contradiction.
Wow, they make it into a real art.
That's excellent. They hear their own doublespeak back, and because they're cognitively processing it in real time, obviously they're saying it, they don't recognise the doublespeak. And then when it's repeated back to them, they want to argue against it.
Oh, no, that's mental.
They know not what they do. Literally.
That is classic comedy right there. Classic.
Oh my god. Oh, tears, man.
This is why we should extend that little bit more respect for Jose, though. You've got that gold from Jose, correct?
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Hey, that sounds like a contradiction.
You need to string that together, man. You need to edit that out. Take it out, edit the section where he says it, and then edit it being read back to him immediately after and him pointing out that it's a contradiction. You need to edit that. Somebody needs to edit that together.
We need to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to be the #1 toe tag.
Oh, I can toe tag that better, I think.
Oh, you've got a story topper on your hands, John.
I've got a story topper better than that. I might need to go on Skype though to do it, so I can share my screens.
Okay.
Right, hang on.
You can share screens in this, you realise?
Yeah, but it's better with volume.
Oh, you want audio? Yeah, fine.
Yeah, okay, right. I'll join on Skype.
Okay. Got about 3 minutes before I end this live show.
How about the live debut? September 17th, Tuesday. Be here or be sphere. Quantum Eraser channel. Don't miss this, folks. It's gonna be wild. Thanks.
So yeah, check it out if I'm in the
be there.
Chat after the fact, the Uncut and After Show chat. I will post a link to Quantum Eraser channel. Right, you've got about 3 minutes. Do you reckon you can squeeze this in, Ranty?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hold on, let me just... Hold on. I've just got to set you up. It won't take me a second, though. Okay. Don't panic. Kind of looks a bit rough around the edges, but I'm ready when you are.
Okay, right. So Professor Philip Bell was debating Anthony Riley, Sleeping Warrior, and Sleeping Warrior was asking him for proof that the Earth rotates. I'm just going to play a very small clip now of the response that the professor gave when Sleeping Warrior was demanding proof from him. Here you go.
Remove proof out of the lexicon.
No, because we're supposed to have all this hundreds of years of science.
No, Anthony.
Let me just rewind that.
I told you before.
Get it down to here. Right, here we go.
Slick.
Down. And the cause is to be Earth turn.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, correct.
Yes.
Okay, all right. First of all, can we remove proof out of the lexicon?
No, because...
Can we remove proof?
I heard that, yup. I was dying. Like, wait, Riley just asked you for proof, and you say you have proof, and the first thing you say is, let's take proof out of the lexicon? Really?
Claim to be professor. What an outrage. And with that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
That went on Ranties, that got everything wrong in that hour-long speech, with his quoted thing about science not being about the truth. I think still nothing tops that.
What did he say, Arwen? I missed half of that. Go ahead and say
That
that
science is not about the truth.
So it's
He
lies?
said that when? In his debate with Riley, or in
No,
that presentation he did?
that hour-long speech on Ranties.
Because I missed
before
that
Riley
whole
came
nonsense.
on.
He was chocolate was rumpusing you, Arwen. Can you say that one more time?
Right. So, well, it was the hour-long, really boring speech he gave on Ranties before the debate actually began with Riley. And got all messy, but he did it in that, and I guess that a lot of people were probably just falling asleep, but I was just laughing all the way because of all the complaints in chat and how ranty looked while he was sitting through that, and it was just so funny. But I did catch up on that it was in there. Like, what? Science is not about the truth. Okay.
Dialogue enthralled.
Say the quote again, Arwen, exactly the way he said it.
I think I got it right. Science is not about the truth, but it might be phrased slightly different. Ranty, do you know? Do you remember?
I can open the transcript up to find out.
Yeah, that'd be great. let's talk about this a lot. He was a proper crayon muncher.
It's not going to be on the transcript. It was on one of his slides, right, Arwen? Arwen, wasn't it on a slide? So it's not going to be on the transcript.
Well, he may have read it out loud. I think he did.
Yeah, it's on a slide, I think, because I've seen that slide somewhere else.
Right.
Have you seen it now?
But he read it.
You've seen it now, QE.
I've seen that slide that said science is not about the truth. And I was laughing hard. I said, okay, it's lies.
Well, when Arwen said it, I immediately thought about pseudoscience. So he's actually being very honest about their pseudoscience is not true.
No, he actually thought that was the scientific method evolution. That's how he presented it.
No, I know what he was saying, but based on that they can't come to the table with any validation for anything. It's a Freudian
clowns.
slip.
They're clowns. There's clowns everywhere. Clowns to the left of me. Clowns to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle of clowns. Just clinical level Dunning-Kruger clowns. This is a joke, folks. It's a joke.
It's like Spaceballs. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. Keep firing assholes.
Yeah, I remember that. It's good.
Yeah, but they're all Mr. Asshole. They're all like cousins and nephews and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they're all cross-eyed like they're inbred. So it's like, didn't you mess me up the other day? No, that was my cousin. He's also an asshole.
Lieutenant Major Asshole, sir.
Yeah, Major Asshole. That's right. I never dreamt for a second that you'd end up seeing like recycled bits of that in flat Earth videos, but you often see Mega Made these days. I see that clip quite often now.
Mm-hmm. It's not surprising.
She's gone from suck to blow.
But the filmmakers obviously recognised the violation of thermodynamics that space is. Otherwise they wouldn't have put a great big glass dome with a hatch on it around a sphere Earth in space.
Well, that's the tricky part about it. The barrier was erected to prevent it from being stolen from the Spaceball Empire, which seemingly did that industrially with their cans of air and all that nonsense.
Sure. No, I get the plot, but what I'm saying is Mega Made's a vacuum, and they've put a dome around it to protect it from theft from what, other people roaming around with a vacuum? Well,
yeah.
The vacuum of the Mega Made is in the vacuum of the sky.
Maybe it's the gravity dome Rumpus speaks of.
No. I think it was kind of even mentioned roughly in the story early on that it was there to protect from the Spaceballs. Specifically.
Yeah, but
the visuals are incredible, of course. But
it's still a contradiction, isn't it?
What Nathan is trying to say is Mel Brooks got it, but the Globers don't seem to get it.
It's just a weird concept, even having a vacuum cleaner in space, while space is supposedly a vacuum cleaner by itself.
Exactly.
So
how is Mega Maid producing a differential with a motor? And she's physically got a motor on the end of a stick with a bag attached to it. So what's the differential being created by? Oh, right, there's the vacuum of the sky that she's in.
Yep.
It's irony.
I remembered what that idiot wannabe scientist said. He said truth and science are incompatible.
What? Truth and science are incompatible.
That's what he said.
Truth is a weird word to use when you're talking about science. It's applicable, but it's not necessarily what I'd use as a go-to. Empirical, that's the word, not truthful. It's because truthful makes it sound like it's a reified person sat on a confessional stand giving their account. And it's not going to give you truth, it's going to give you an empirical result and establish a cause or not establish a cause. That's it. It's kind of narrow. It's not... truth's fair enough, I suppose, but it's not the word I'd use.
Okay, I found that clip.
It's just... my point was that these people are so used to the body of science and how truthful a man is when he tells you something. And that they say, oh, science isn't about truth. It's like, no. When they say these things, whenever it's a fundy globehead saying it, superimpose the word pseudoscience over the top of the word science. So when he says science isn't about truth, what he actually means is pseudoscience isn't about truth. That's what he actually means.
Yep.
Yeah, I do that automatically now. As soon as I hear them saying, "Oh, it's not truth. It doesn't prove anything." Yep, you're talking about pseudoscience.
It's broken German.
Yeah, you're welcome. truth is a domain of religion? What? What are you smoking, dude? Goodness gracious, he should be institutionalized. Listen to this.
We won't hear it, I don't think. Oh, maybe we will.
Oh, and you got Randy's face on there.
Share, John, share.
Yeah.
Look at Randy.
We can't hear it or see it. So
well,
if you want,
I can play it if you want.
Yeah, if you want to play it, because I'm not getting sound from John for some reason.
Okay, so it's basically a minute or so. So listen to what he says.
And how to measure it. Okay. So real and truth are not addressed by science. These are individual assertions. Okay, so the idea is real, the idea that something is truth is not addressed by science. Science is about getting models. Science is about, let me go on to this and say, okay, sorry, I should have probably gone to this first. Okay, for example, I accept the globe model for many reasons. That's me, I'm talking about. And the best of these reasons is the footage from cameras that we put on board our rockets, for instance. So there's thousands of reasons, but this is probably as good a reason as you're going to get. So I have very intimate and personal experience with this. So because you don't work as a scientist like I do, then you only get to hear about science when things go right. I'm actually not sure why I even wrote that, but nevertheless. Okay, and I assure you, you're wrong, that I am wrong much more often than I am right. God, I should have read this. Okay. Science is never about
Trying to pause it there, Ranty. So
yeah,
just before anybody laughs it all up, hold on, just wait for Ranty to get it on pause.
But nevertheless.
Go ahead, sorry, what you say, Tony.
I'm laughing room here.
So,
Marwin laughed right at the time that he was saying it.
Do you want to just play it one more time?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, and I assure you, you're wrong, that I am wrong much more often than I am right. God, I should have read this. Okay, so in a nutshell, science is never about truth. Truth is the domain of religion. Just goes to show.
So in a nutshell, science is never about truth. Truth is the domain of religion.
So yeah, your opening bit where he's talking about science and models, absolutely. Substitute where he says science for pseudoscience. He's talking about things that aren't offered with any empiricism whatsoever. That's pseudoscience. He's not talking about cause and effect relationships being established by way of scientific prediction, hypothesis, and experimentation. He's talking about models. So he's absolutely not talking about science, and he's saying science is blah, 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 or science isn't blah, blah, blah. Just substitute the word pseudoscience when he says science, and then he's spot on.
Aye, so Sleepy Warrior had to contend with him.
He said, I am wrong much more than I am right. Yeah, you're wrong right now.
Well, that was a very serious Freudian slip. And he didn't even know it.
Actually kind of felt
right. But the whole thing was just messy. He was just all drawing it into philosophy. He was obviously talking about the truth, as in the philosophical, spiritual concept and all that, not just about
whatever. This guy didn't say a damn thing.
No, but
Riley asked him for proof of rotation. He went right back to sunsets and like, get the hell out of here, bro. Are you kidding?
Right. I'm just saying that most of that hour-long speech seemed to have been his philosophical interpretation of what science is and everything surrounding that, completely bypassing what the actual nature and foundation of the scientific method really is, and just growing his own little painting on it.
Right. Okay, listen, I'll join back in about 15 minutes, guys.
Well, just before you go, so I'm about to round out this show and start the next, so albeit 3 minutes early. Do you want to just do a quick plug to your show that will be starting in approximately 4 minutes over on Ranty Flat Earth channel?
Sure, yeah. Flat Earth Chit Chat over on Ranty Flat Earth channel. I'll be going live in, well, 4 minutes from now, so hop on over if you want to listen in to myself, Adam Meakin, and a few other people who may get in to have a bit of a Flat Earth Chit Chat.
Excellent. Not a bad plug. Anybody else want to plug anything? You've got about a minute and a half to do so if you do.
I've got something that I'll present in the next show once you get to the gas pressure question.
I would say check out Discord, Flat Earth Discord 24/7 2.0. It's awesome. Check it out.
Any more? Be as shameless as you like.
Flat Earth Early Bird tomorrow, as usual. Arwin, come here. 2 p.m. Amsterdam time.
Wow, that was enthusiastic.
Yeah, I know.
I was just gonna say Arwin there. Put a little pep in that, bro. Like, yo, I'm Arwin. Yo, check me out.
Oh
so
yeah,
awesome.
I am Arwin. I am. I know.
Okay, be here or be sphere on the Arwin channel, ARWIJN, for the Flat Earth Early Bird, 2 p.m. Amsterdam time, 1 p.m. UK time. Arwin, ARWIJN. And with that, I will say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in on the Nathan Oakley Premiering stream, for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Also, of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this after show possible. As said earlier, be sure to check out Ranty Flat Earth channel to tune into Ranty's Roundtable, which is starting any moment over on Ranty Flat Earth. So be here or be sphere on the Ranty Flat Earth channel. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!